What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is going on, guys? It is Monday. It is January 28th. It is 11:06 a.m. I am a little bit behind the 8 ball here, folks. And yeah, we're looking at another shiz show on Monday, which normally on Monday we actually have decent shows. What is going on? Why a shiz show today? That's a good question. And the answer for that is, you know, honestly, I think what I need to start doing now, and this is something that I haven't done, is I think I need to start preparing for the next day's show the previous night. Because my normal style is I wake up in the morning. The show isn't until 11 a.m., you know, so I wake up in the morning, I check all the various subreddits, I go to the different VR websites, I look for various trailers, all of these kinds of things. And, you know, I usually have several hours to do that, and it's usually not that big of a problem. And then I have a relatively decent show to work with, and I'll have some news stories and stuff like that. Today, what happened is, started off like any other day. Everything was fine, and it was really early, you know, it was relatively early in the morning, and I'm still working on the overall top 200, the overall top 200, you know, the rankings that we did. Remember we did that show where we did the top 10 and Orbis was waiting forever and ever and ever. I still have not finished the top 200, and I've been going through it, like when I have some spare time, I've been going through it and trying to do our top 200 so that I could get it onto the website and update the top 200, the hot 100, top 50, top 20 of all of the overall rankings. And so today, this morning, I was working on it a little bit, and I went to the website, and the website wasn't there. VR Game Rankings wasn't there, and I'm still having problems with VR Game Rankings, like on different browsers and stuff. Like if you go look for VR Game Rankings, you might just get a white screen, like no website comes up. And so I called the web hosting place, and I was waiting online forever and doing all of this kind of stuff. And it basically took my entire morning. Then I had to give my kid a ride to school, and just a lot of somebody doesn't want me to be successful is all I gotta say, because somebody does not want me to be prepared for this show. Somebody wants it to just be a disaster. And I don't know why, but you know, some days we have really good situations. But anyway, today is a little bit of a shiz show. So yeah, I did reach out on Discord to see if there was anybody, if anybody wanted to jump on the show, because MainFan, when it is a shiz show, it's not bad to maybe add another voice into the show. And the way you would do that, guys, is with Skype. Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to give my Skype name live on this show because I don't want like a ton of random weirdos trying to hit me up all of a sudden. So what you want to do is, if you do want to be on the show, go ahead and shoot me a private message on Discord. Shoot me a private message on Discord, and I can go ahead and give you my Skype name, and you can Skype in, and I can get you in on the show. So, you know, if somebody wants to do that, we can definitely do that, because I don't have like major stories locked in. VR Spry Guy says VR Game Rankings is working fine for me at the moment. Yeah, earlier today I was having problems with it. It seems like they did fix something, like something did get fixed, because then it did start working, but it's still a little bit sketch. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, weirdos. Well, no, I'm not saying you guys are weirdos. I'm saying, like, if I put my Skype name in this show, where it's just out there on the internet, just wide open on the internet, who knows who could possibly get that and want to screw around for, you know, whatever reason and constantly Skype in? You know, I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do. So I just, I figure the better way to do it. Also, I don't want to have like 10 different people trying to Skype me all at the same time. So it's got to be one guy at a time, one person at a time, or one lady. You know, how awesome would it be to have a lady on the show? That would actually be super cool, a female voice. Because like when I look at the YouTube statistics and stuff, like it shows that my show is like 99% male. And but I know there's a couple of females that tune into the show every now and then on an occasion. So how cool would it be to get a female voice on the show? That would be kind of cool as well. Or, you know, or there's also this possibility. What about our boy Sebastian? What about Epix? What about, you know, anybody that is out there that is a VR YouTuber? You could come on the show as well. Maybe you can open yourself up to an entirely new audience. Right now, I just want to do voice because video has been sketchatorical. So I just want to do voice. But yeah, if you're a VR YouTuber and you want to come on the show, you could come on the show as well. And you could be introduced to an entirely new audience. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the actual show today. And we do have some minor news. There is some minor news that's going on here. Let's see if I can get this. See, everything is discombobulated over here. Hold on. Yeah, problematic. You know, one of the things I was considering today is like, maybe I should reschedule the show for, you know, 2 p.m. or something like that. But I've got other stuff I've got to do. I can't reschedule the show. So I'm not ready for the show. I can't reschedule for the show. I don't want to cancel the show. So this is kind of the reality here. But anyway, there is news that is going on. So let's go ahead and bounce over here to our webby browser. And you know what? Probably the biggest story of the day. Let's see if I can find it here. Really well, actually, we can go back to Upload VR. Let's go to Upload VR. The biggest story of the day, in my opinion, is probably this one right here. So Starblood Arena. Starblood Arena is a PlayStation VR exclusive. It was delivered to us by developer White Moon Dreams. And I believe, I'm trying to remember, who were the guys behind White Moon Dreams? For some reason, I might be getting these guys mixed up, but I thought maybe they have a lot of ex-developers from the people that used to do Wipeout, you know, Wipeout for PlayStation, like all those years, like Liverpool or whatever it was, that studio. Shirzad Khan City says, what's a female? A lady, an older lady, a younger lady, a girl, a woman, a female. That's what we're talking about here. I'm sure there's at least one or two that watch this show on occasion. And I would love to have a voice of a female on the show. I think that would be sweet. But yeah, White Moon Dreams, the developer of Starblood Arena, I don't know why, but I have a feeling that they it's made up of a lot of ex-members. I think of the team that used to work on Wipeout, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, they brought out Starblood Arena on PlayStation VR. It was an exclusive. Starblood launched way back in early 2017. And it's kind of been a bit of a disaster for Starblood Arena ever since the very beginning. Because it's basically an online-only kind of thing. And people have always had problems getting into different games. There's been different problems with this. I know it's been updated a number of different times. And it's kind of been fixed up a little bit. And then Sony actually made Starblood Arena a free game for PlayStation Plus members. Now, Sony does not have a regular policy of providing free VR games on a regular basis, but every once in a while, they will throw out a free game there. And so Starblood Arena was a free game, and they popped it out there on PlayStation Plus. And I think part of the reason was, let's get some more people in Starblood Arena. Let's rejuvenate this thing. And so this is in the news because it's going offline. This puppy is going offline in the month of July. on July 25th, it is basically going to cease existence, like straight up, because here's the deal. There is a single player mode for this game. Like there is like some kind of single player bot thing, but it's like really minor and it's not something that anybody would really care about, but it does exist. There is some kind of single player component, but it requires online access. You still have to be online. Like if you take your PlayStation VR over to someone's house, they have no internet service whatsoever. Let's say you're at your grandma's house or something. For some reason, you're staying there for a weekend and grandma has no internet access. You're not playing this. And so the servers are being shut down on July 25th. So they're either... So I don't know. I don't know. Is there going to be bots at all? Like, are they going to patch this to have an offline mode for the bots? Or is this game basically dead? VR is dead, folks. VR is dead because Starblood Arena is about to actually be dead. It is about to be buried 6 feet under dirt. This is going to happen on July 25th of this year, later this summer. So I guess they're giving people a bit of a warning, but what do you guys think about this? Like, isn't it kind of crazy that this can even happen? Like when you buy Starblood Arena, is there some kind of warning? Like when you buy games, I guess it's in the fine print, right? It must be in the fine print that servers are not going to last forever, that these things are going to wither and they're going to die. This is part of the reason I like single player gaming, man, because you have a single player game that is offline. It's going to be there for you, man. It's going to be there for you 10 years from now. It's going to be there for you 5 years from now. It's going to be there for you 20 years from now. But now that we're moving into like everything being online, everything being games as a service, and then eventually we're going to get into streaming games. And when those games die, they are gone. They're just gone. And so it kind of sucks. Like I feel bad for like the developers of White Moon Dreams, because think about it. What if you were a guy that worked for White Moon Dreams, and you spent a good 2 years of your life banging away on this game, and you could show people, you could say, this is my game. I worked on this game. But like 10 years from now, this game is just gone. And so you cannot show anybody this game. It's weird. It's a weird reality that we're in. I remember the old days, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. We got these physical cartridges. In fact, I probably have a few of them floating around over there in the corner. Actual physical cartridges, they do not disappear. They continue to exist. Well, at least for 100 years or so. But that is Starblood Arena. It is dead. Let's go ahead and check over here in chat, see if anybody's talking about that. DLG27 says Starblood Arena does have bot play as well as multiplayer. It does, but it does require online. So the question, like, we don't know right now if they shut down these servers. As long as you still have online access, can you just get into the bot mode? You might be able to. So maybe this isn't completely dead. And Tezram said, look, if they made a better VR game, then they wouldn't have to shut down the servers. That's harsh, but possibly true as well. DL says, Starblood Arena is a good 6 DOF game. It's a pretty good game. Kevgret says, he's replying to Tezram, bro, it's not that simple. It is a good game that never got the support it needed from the player base. And Paolo Triani says, that is sad. It wasn't that bad. I believe, I'm trying to think, did I ever play Starblood Arena? Was there a demo for this? I know Steve Bishop played it. And I think back when this first came out, I think Steve was actually into it to some degree, because I remember he talked about it on one of like the VR Roundtable episodes, or it was on some show we were on. Steve was talking about Starblood Arena and he enjoyed the game. He thought it was good. That was way back at the very beginning. But I don't know. It never took off. I don't know if I've ever tried this game. I know that it was available. There's a physical version, actually. I believe there's a physical version of Starblood Arena, and it was one of the cheapest games that you could possibly get at GameStop. like PlayStation VR games. Like you could get Starblood Arena for like $6, the physical version. And so there's actually a physical version out there. So I guess it will continue to exist in physical form. Whether you can play the game or not, it will exist in physical form, I suppose. Okay, so that is in the news, Starblood Arena. And actually, we could bounce over to the PlayStation VR subreddit because I know they are talking about this a little bit. And this guy's asking, Starblood Arena devs, any plans to make the single-player portion offline? Let's go ahead and click on this and see if... yeah, this guy's agreed. I'm not impressed that my physical copy is going to be reduced to a coaster. Yeah, they did have physical copies of this. Will Not Forget 2 says, I asked them for official confirmation of the server shutdown and a single-player offline patch. Should know soon. And so he asked a dev at White Moon Dreams who he met in person. So, you know, waiting to hear back on that. But yeah, they were requested to make the single player offline many times on here since launch. The community manager was very active on here once upon a time. All those great characters lost forever and great crisp looking, very playable PSVR game to boot. So yeah, that is Starblood Arena, and it is unfortunate to be sure. All right, so in additional news, one thing that we do like to look at every single day, and this has been kind of a routine that we've been on here, is we like to look at the daily deals on Oculus and see what the daily deals are. So let's go ahead and bounce over here to Oculus, and we can see that the daily deal, it is Serious Sam VR, The Last Hope. And this is a 50% drop. So this is a full pop game. We're talking $39.99. It is $40. It is a 50% discount. So it is chopped to $20. Now, I mean, that's half off, and you know, it's a pretty good deal. There is well over 12 hours still left in this. Now, the thing is, you might be tempted to run out there and buy this right away. But the one thing that you might want to know is these games often go on sale for $10 each. It happens a lot. Like a lot. The series, like Crow Team is always putting their games on sale, taking them off sale, putting them on sale, taking them off sale. And you know, there will be months that will go by in between these sales. And so if you don't want to wait a couple of months, you might want to just go ahead and grab this now. But we do see this very often for $9.99. They'll make each of their Serious Sam games $10, and then they'll have an incredible bundle where you can get all of their Serious Sam games. Sometimes it even throws in like the Talos Principle VR as well, like an entire Crow Team bundle. And you end up getting, like if you buy the whole entire package, you end up getting them for like $7. Excuse me. So, yeah, that is Serious Sam VR, The Last Hope. So it is out there. I don't know that I would jump on this personally unless you were absolutely jonesing for this very specific version. Now, what is the difference between the various Serious Sams? Well, basically, Serious Sam VR, The Last Hope, this one is one that was made for VR, and it was made in the modern era for VR. But the downside is it's basically a front-facing design. So it's pretty much like 180 degrees this way. So everything is going to happen in front of you like this. Nothing is going to happen behind you. It is a front-facing design. I actually have this game. Well, VR Roundtable, we have this game because we bought the entire bundle. And I have not played this. The only Serious Sam game I've played is Serious Sam 3. I did a Let's Play on it, was running around in the Serious Sam 3 world. It's a pretty cool world. And I should probably download this and install it and play The Last Hope because I've never tried it. And this is the more modern game of the Serious Sam. Now, a lot of people will prefer like Serious Sam 3. Some people prefer like Serious Sam the first encounter or Serious Sam the second encounter because they're go anywhere. It's not 180, it's a 360 degree experience, but it's a much older game. So it might not have a lot of the bells and whistles that Serious Sam VR The Last Hope has. But yeah, we do see this on sale so very often. So, you know, might want to be a little bit careful about this in terms of picking it up. You might want to be a little bit more patient. You might be able to grab that for a 10 spot. Okay, so let's go ahead and bounce back over to Road to VR. Upload VR. Let's bounce back over to Upload VR. And one of the stories I saw here is that the HTC Vive Pro Eye will not replace the original Vive Pro. And this is not like a major news story. Basically, what has happened here is Upload VR has reached out to HTC to try to get some type of clarification on exactly what's going on here. First of all, what is the price of the Vive Pro Eye? Because we still have never heard a price. And then they've also asked them, you know, what is the deal? Like, how are all these headsets going to shake out? Is this a replacement? Are some of these other headsets going to be phased out and they will no longer be available? How is it all going to work out? And so apparently in a statement that was provided over email, a statement to Upload VR, the company said that the Vive Pro Eye will sit alongside its predecessor. It also reaffirmed that it will announce the price at a later time. So basically not much of a story here. The reality is that there's a bit of confusion here because you got the regular HTC Vive, you've got the Vive Pro, you've got the Vive Pro Eye, we've got, of course, the Vive Cosmos that's coming at a later date. We still don't have a lot of information on Vive Cosmos. It's kind of funny. We've like forgotten about Vive Cosmos. You know, it was a big deal. We talked about it so much for a couple of days. It was the big thing. Vive at the time said more information would be coming in the coming weeks and the coming months. And we heard that and we're like, oh man, they're really going to drag this thing out. This was back at CES, you know, and then at CES, we saw the Qualcomm reference design. And so we kind of thought, okay, well, the Vive Cosmos, that's the Qualcomm reference design. But we haven't gotten any more information for Vive Cosmos. So it is a bit confusing. We've got all these different options from HTC. Now, if we talked to an HTC spokesperson, they would say, no, there's no confusion. All we have right now, available right now on the market, is you have the standard normal HTC Vive and you got the HTC Vive Pro. And that's what's out there. And the Vive Pro is meant more for industry, more for location-based entertainment, VR arcades. But you can buy it if you really want to. You can buy the Vive Pro if you really want to, but it's more of a premium product. And the Vive Pro Eye is a new product that's going to be coming in the second quarter of 2019. Again, it is targeted at industry. It is targeted at location-based entertainment, VR arcades, all of these sorts of things. It's not really targeted at consumers. Of course, they can say that and still make it available for anybody that wants to kick out enough money. I doubt they're going to prevent people from paying them. So if you want to throw out enough money, I'm sure you're going to be able to get a Vive Pro Eye. But by making it for industry, they can make it pretty darn expensive, and then if complaints come down the line, they just brush it off and say, well, you know, this isn't a consumer-facing product. So you can't judge the price. It's not a consumer-facing product. So, you know, leave it alone from that standpoint. But honestly, this story is kind of much ado about nothing because we really didn't get any information there. They've got a lot of different products going on simultaneously. Let's go back over to chat and see what some folks are popping off over here. Lethal Weasel VR says, didn't we just buy all of those games for 20 bucks? Pretty much. We pretty much did. Like, I know there were bundles for all the Serious Sam games, and there were some incredible deals. Mainfan, who is not joining me because he's actually at a job, he's saying Last Hope is one of the best wave shooters. Yeah, I should try it. There's a million games I need. Well, not a million, but there's a lot of games that I need to try. And I played Serious Sam 3, but I didn't try the first encounter, the second encounter. I need a hard drive. I did get a hard drive. I got another 500 gig SSD. There was an incredible deal, guys. It was on Amazon. It was for a crucial 500 gig hard drive SSD, and it was like really cheap. It was like a really cheap price. And I got to format that drive and get it up and running so I can download Fallout 4 VR and, you know, some other games that I've kind of been holding off on because I don't want to use so much storage space. But Last Hope is definitely one I want to get into. Paradise Decay says The Last Hope is a blast. Even more fun if you can get into a co-op game. Crunchy says, I only paid $16 for this game, plus first encounter, second encounter, and Talos Principle. God damn, that is an incredible deal because you already own like one of them already, and then you did that $20 deal. Man, that $20 deal, unbelievable. Unbelievable deal that was at that point. So Tezram is saying, well, what will Valve call their kit when Knuckles releases? Vive Pro Eye hands, knee and toe? Valve isn't giving Knuckles to HTC. HTC will have to make their own. Yeah, you know, we got to wonder about that. Potential 2K per eye on Cosmos with phone tether excites me. Yeah, what is going to happen with the controller aspect of everything? Because the thing is, Vive Cosmos does, that's why I feel like there's another shoe that's going to drop. I don't really understand where the Vive Cosmos fits into this entire deal, because the Vive Cosmos has these completely redesigned controllers, but why do none of the other Vive products have it? Well, a great explanation for this is that the Vive Cosmos does not use lighthouses. So maybe the Vive Cosmos doesn't really have anything to do with Steam VR whatsoever. And maybe HTC and maybe Valve, like maybe those two boats have really diverged and they're heading in completely different directions. I never really believed it, guys. I never really believed that Valve themselves will actually manufacture a headset, have it in a box, and you order it somehow, and it comes in a box, and it says Valve on it, and it's a finished product. Like, that seems so far-fetched to me. I really thought for sure that Valve would work with some kind of third party, whether it be LG, whether it be Samsung, whether it be some unknown company like Sharp or Toshiba, or, you know, who knows, some other company getting involved in the game. I just never thought that Valve would actually bring their own product out. And I know people will say, wait a minute, Valve, they do have like a factory. They can make products. And if you look at like one of their taglines when they're asking people to join Valve, they talk about hardware. You know, they mention hardware. I got to clear my throat real quick, so I'm going to cough real quick. I'm going to mute my voice here for a quick second. Okay, there we go. That is much better. Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit confusing on what's going on here. In the news as well, here on Upload VR, they're talking about how researchers have built a 40-plane multifocal display with just one screen. Now, this is at Carnegie Mellon University and researchers at Carnegie Mellon University. Now, what's interesting to me is who the hell is paying for this and why? Researchers from Carnegie Mellon University built a multifocal display with 40 unique planes. The system involves a 1600 hertz screen and a focus tunable lens. All VR headsets on the market today are fixed focus, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we've heard about like having multifocal displays, and usually it's like two focal planes, like one that's up close, one that's far away. And the idea here is they're going to have 40 different focal lengths, which basically damn near makes it look like real life as far as you're concerned. Unlike varifocal displays, this 40-plane multifocal display does not use or require eye tracking. Additionally, since each focal plane is rendered independently, it doesn't require the resource-intensive approximation of natural blur to look real. Now, the problem is you need something that's going to render 1600 frames per second. Good luck with that. Although each group of the 40 are just different planes of the same frame, so it's not quite as bad as, you know, reproducing 1600 individual frames of different stuff. And one of the things they mention here at the end of this story, Facebook are hard at work at reducing the GPU requirements of their varifocal blur, so it'll be interesting to see which becomes practical for the consumer market first. Yeah, and here's this diagram from a Carnegie Mellon paper about how they're doing this, the virtual display with a fixed focal plane and with all the different focal plane stacks and how that is all going to work. And this is an image from Oculus Research of 3 different focal planes right there. And here we can see, you know, focus at 0.25 meters, half a meter, 1.2 meters, focus at infinity, real-time focal length. It all sounds interesting, but they have to get this into a small enough device that we can put on our head, and then you need to deliver the 1600 frames. So this could be way off in the future, but it's exciting that there's people working on this, and maybe 10, 15 years from now, we'll see the fruits of this. So it's way off into the future. We don't really need to worry that much about it right now, but it is something to keep our eyes on at some point in time. Okay, let's bounce back over. I'm going to be leaning on Upload VR pretty heavily today because, like I said, don't have a lot of other stories. I don't have many trailers. I was looking a little bit for trailers, didn't find much of anything. You know what? We can talk real briefly about this Hamlet 360. I actually was going to grab a trailer for this, and then I was looking at the time of the trailer. Like, this is on this YouTube channel right here. It's the full entire thing. Look at this. This is 1 hour and 1 minute and 9 seconds. You know what? And actually, let me do an experiment. I'm going to do an experiment, guys. I'm going to turn up the sound on this, and I'm going to fast forward. And I know this looks really weird, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute my audio output capture. Let's see if you guys hear this.
Hands.
You guys, yeah, you guys probably hear this now.
Drugs fit. And time agreeing.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to
yeah.
trippingly.
Okay, so I believe you guys do hear that. Well, you did hear that for a second. But yeah, so basically that audio output capture that I have here, what it is it's really just my desktop audio. So if somebody does Skype into me, I can obviously hear them. And then I can unmute that and you guys can hear them, but you'll also hear like little sounds that are going on my computer as well. So I did want to double check that real quick, just see if that would work. But yeah, the entire feature length presentation of Hamlet 360, Thy Father's Spirit, like you can watch this entire thing. So I'm assuming that, you know, on your Oculus Go or whatever, like for some reason, am I the only one here that when I think about watching like a YouTube 360 video, I instantly think of my Oculus Go? Like I don't think of my Rift, I don't think of PlayStation VR, I think of my Oculus Go. And I think for some reason, we've got it in our head, a lot of people have it in their head, and I guess I've got it in my head as well, that the Oculus Go is like the media device. If you're gonna watch something on YouTube 360 video, might as well do it on your Oculus Go because you can get comfortable, you can sit on your sofa, you don't got wires going anywhere, you don't have to be in your PC room, you don't have to be where your PlayStation VR is. You can grab your Oculus Go and you can go into the other room where it's a little bit more comfortable and you can relax and watch an entire Shakespeare thing if you wanted to. This is on YouTube, the full entire thing. I don't know if it's any good, but it might be worth checking out just for a minute, just so you can get into it and you can just kind of, you know, turn all the way around and watch the entire thing. So let me go ahead and bounce back over here to chat, see what some people are talking about. Let's see. My virtual diary says the Vive Pro is $599 on some French websites. That's interesting. Lethal Weasel VR, he just got his SSD. Yeah, see, Lethal was the guy that hipped me to this deal for this crucial 500 gig SSD that I believe it was on Amazon, and it was a really good deal. Now, I don't know if it's still on sale, but if it is, it's not a bad deal. You might want to check out Amazon if you need another little SSD. Crunchy says, right, Cosmos is inside-out tracking and we'll have a plug-in for Steam VR like Windows Mixed Reality has. And yeah, Crunchy says they do make hardware. Yes, I know Valve, but what's the last hardware item that Valve has actually made? Is it the Steam, is it the Valve, like the Steam controller? Is that the last, like, what is the last thing that they made that's hard, where they sell it and they ship it themselves? Lethal Weasel VR says, I like the concept of these new HTC products, but I can't let myself get excited before they announce the price. Never again. Yeah, the price of the Vive Pro Eye and the price of the Vive Cosmos, that is going to be super interesting, because we're going to find out if HTC is serious, or are they still going to go into this idea of really juicing their most loyal supporters. So we'll be interested to find out what happens with that. But going back here down to where the Go is and stuff, Tesram says, but how am I supposed to eat chips and drink while using the Go? Well, you can eat chips, but drinking, the problem is your cup is likely to bang into your VR headset. And so what we do need at some point is much smaller VR headsets so we can actually drink and stuff. Yeah, because I think there's going to be a time where we're going to be able to eat food and drink and be in a VR world and have tracked drinks. Can you guys imagine going to a special VR club? Again, I gotta like clear my throat or something. Hold on, I'm gonna mute my mic just for a second here. Where is it? Okay, I don't know what's caught in my throat, but something's going crazy here. All right, but no, I actually have this idea. I mean, I have this vision in my head. Eventually, when we have full body tracking in VR, right? Imagine we have full body tracking in VR, and somebody's gonna make a club that you go to it's a VR club. Like, you don't get to see who these people are in real life. You get to see them in VR. They get to see you in VR. The drinks, so you have to keep your headset, like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but you have to keep your headset on permanently while you're in this club, and they'll have alcoholic beverages and everything, and they'll just have tracked glasses, and it'll be the whole freaking deal, man. And you're going to be, and I could even imagine like eating soup in VR. I'm trying to think like what kind of foods could we eat, but I think you could have a VR club. I think it would be really trippy because you would see these other people, and a guy could be a girl could be a guy. Of course, if you actually touch them, like if you're doing like a slow dance or something, you're gonna know. But I don't know. I think there's gonna be some weird stuff that is gonna happen at some point in time with eating, drinking, and those kinds of things. I don't think it's so far-fetched. But let's go ahead. I know I'm a little bit all over the map here. Let's go back to Upload VR, because one of the other stories I did want to get into. So Google I/O. Let's talk about Google for a brief minute here. We are in a shiz show. We don't have a lot of legitimate news. But what we do know is that the Google I/O conference, the date has been set. It is going to be the weekend of May 7th through May 9th. Actually, I don't know if that's a weekend. That might be some weekdays. But the Google I/O conference is May 7th through May 9th. And it is going to be held at the Shoreline Amphitheater. And we don't really know what's going to go on here. But the thing is that Google is very invested in AR and VR, but they don't really have a product. Like they don't really have a product in this category. Look, I know they've got Daydream, but I don't see the Daydream as like a legitimate product. And Daydream has such a tiny market share. And I kind of feel like Google at some point in time, they're going to have a different kind of a product. Now, Google they are competitors with Facebook in certain ways. Google and Facebook are competitors. And Facebook is going to have this product called the Oculus Quest, which is going to come in the spring of this year. And I really feel like all these other companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, all these really big companies that are competing with Facebook, they have to be mildly concerned about the Oculus Quest, because the Oculus Quest is a self-contained product. We just talked about it yesterday. We were talking about the story on CNET. It could be the Nintendo Switch of VR and all of this, but I'm talking purely from a business standpoint and purely from a strategic standpoint of these companies are all going after the same prize. And so Facebook, they know that if they can get you into an ecosystem and get you locked into an ecosystem and get you really dialed into an ecosystem, that they've got you. That's what Apple has done. That's why everybody wants to emulate what Apple has done, because everybody wants to lock you into that ecosystem and make as much money off of you as possible. And as long as you stay in their ecosystem and you're buying TV shows and you're buying songs and you're buying movies and you're buying this and you're buying that, and then they can track everything you do. They can make a profile of you that they can sell to other advertisers. That's what this game is all about right about now. And I got to imagine that Google, Apple, all these other companies, Microsoft, they got to be a bit concerned if Facebook comes out with a really good product that is dialed in the right way, a standalone device that makes a lot of sense. It's got to be a threat. And so I believe that Google is going to have to enter into the game here. And the Daydream is not what I'm talking about here, because the Daydream requires a Pixel phone. A Pixel phone is expensive as hell. So they don't have, Google needs a direct competitor to Oculus Go and a direct competitor to Oculus Quest, and they don't have either. And then also we can go down the AR road as well. Magic Leap is already out there. Remember, in the month of February, I believe around February 24th, I believe at Mobile World Congress, Microsoft is likely to show off HoloLens 2.0. And so you got Microsoft's going to have HoloLens 2.0. Magic Leap is out there. You got this Real, what are they called? Real, I forget what they're called. Real something, the Chinese company that was there at CES. You got a lot of other companies that are getting in the mix. And I got to feel like Google is eventually going to step into this arena in a major way. Will that happen at Google I/O? This May 7th through May 9th. Could there possibly be a new product? There's going to be a product that is going to come completely out of the blue that is going to turn over the apple cart in our industry. And that's what we're waiting for. That's really what we're waiting for, honestly. We need something to come in and be a major disruptor that will then cause all the other companies like Vive and Oculus and everybody else to wake the hell up and get their ducks in a line. And so I do believe there is going to be something that comes out of the woodwork. And maybe it's Google. Maybe it's Google. We've heard about Samsung recently. There's been some patent rumors on Samsung with a curved display and full resolution and all of that. Somebody is going to come out of the woodwork and they're going to shock it. So we'll look forward to this. I kind of feel like it's not going to happen this year. But in 2020, it probably is going to happen from a standpoint of Google and some of these other companies starting to actually get involved. So that is the Google I/O conference. All right. Let's see. We can bounce over here to Road to VR. Yeah, Chris Richardson says Google has entered. They have the Lenovo Mirage Solo. Yeah, I guess they do. I still don't feel like that's their mainstream. I don't think that's their mainstream product that they're going to compete with the Quest. I hope it isn't, because I don't think it's going to work. If that is their mainstream product, I think they're hurting. So I'm over here on Road to VR, and one of the stories I have here is VR cameras are now on the International Space Station. So did you guys hear about this? Time Magazine and Felix and Paul Studios and NASA have all gotten together to bring viewers an intimate look aboard basically the International Space Station. And this is going to be dubbed the ISS Experience. Now, the thing is, this is not available yet, and they just started filming this. In fact, the very first VR scenes were filmed just this last Friday. So this has just started to kick off. But this product was announced at the Sundance Film Festival in Utah over this last weekend. And so basically what they did is they got some special cameras onto the International Space Station. They have an array of Z-cams, custom built, made for space, motorized rigs that are anchored to specific places on the International Space Station. And like, here's one of the cameras right here. This image is courtesy of Time Magazine and Felix and Paul Studios. And there's a couple more of these cameras that are going to be added on as well in the coming months. There's going to be more cameras coming. And basically the idea is over the entire course of 2019, they're going to be filming all these different situations on the International Space Station, which people will be able to view these eventually on AR, VR, and other immersive platforms. So filming is slated to finish at some point in late 2019, and then so probably sometime in early 2020, the ISS Experience will be available on places like, you know, the Oculus Store, Steam, places like that. Felix and Paul, obviously, they're known for Mayubi and all the, you know, Jurassic World, Cirque du Soleil, Wild, Isle of Dogs, all kinds of things that they've done. Felix and Paul are pretty much very good at this stuff. They know what they're doing. They do the best 360 video of anybody out there. I know we kind of bag on 360 video all of the time. Most of it is garbage, but Felix and Paul, they kind of know what they're doing, and they're doing a little bit better than everybody else. Now, I do have a trailer for this, so why don't we go ahead and check it out? So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here to our standard scene. I'm going to pump the volume up on this res trailer, and let's check out this time trailer. ISS Space Station. ISS Experience. Let's check this out.
Transferring to orbiter internal.
6, 7, 12, and 13.
There's a lot that goes into sending anything up into space.
CV2 copies.
Copy that, guys.
Luca from Houston, give us the status.
The dream was always to transport the viewer to space and feel like they have truly been to the International Space Station.
We've never attempted something of this degree. The complexity, the magnitude.
The first principle is placing the camera where a person could be.
Everywhere I think you're going to want that is where people won't want to put it.
Everything is being scrutinized at every step of the way. It's a closed system, and if anything goes wrong, you can't call the fire department in space. Cameras have been sent up before, but none with this complexity.
I think there are some subject matters that are better experienced. Virtual reality is the perfect medium.
There's something that's so intangible about living in zero gravity.
Only trained astronauts live and work on the International Space Station. The actual purpose of the work,
We're going for EVA.
it's ultimately about all of us.
Can you guys see this? Awesome.
Alrighty, so yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's an interesting idea. Certainly seeing what goes on in the International Space Station, seeing it in a 360 video, if it's done well, kind of getting an idea of how incredibly cramped it is and all of those different spaces. How many, look at how many tubes and little buttons and wires, like, there doesn't seem like there's a place for people to even sit down anywhere and just have a cup of coffee. Like, every little square inch of the International Space Station has very important, like, experiments and things that are happening. And so these guys are wondering, like, where are we going to put these damn cameras? Because where you would want to put the cameras, like that one astronaut said, where you want to put the cameras is exactly where the freaking astronauts don't want those cameras to go, because they're right in the goddamn way. And these are not tiny cameras. These are not insignificant little tiny webcams that you hide in a corner. These are pretty big cameras. But the cool thing about it is they are going to be capturing like actual spacewalks, where people get outside of the International Space Station. They're walking around outside of space, and we're going to get some different views that are pretty cool. You're going to be able to see people eat and drink and all that kinds of things, with things just floating around, zero gravity, all that kinds of stuff. It's going to be pretty cool. So that is the ISS Experience. That'll be coming early in 2020. We can look forward to that. That is coming from Time and Felix and Paul Studios. Now, you know, one of the questions I've always had in regards to space, like, we've got the moon, right? We've got the moon. We've got Mars. We have, you know, China. China just recently sent like some type of rover to the dark side of the moon, right? They have a little thing that is rolling around on the dark side of the moon where all the aliens are hiding. So China knows about all the aliens. So, you know, they know about that. And we've also got rovers that are on Mars that are rolling around. Now, here's what I want. Can't somebody send a 4K camera to Mars, or a 4K camera to the moon, and film like the surface of the moon in crystal clear 4K, like absolute crystal clear 4K on the moon, on Mars, 300, you know, look all around, look at rocks. I want to see it crystal clear, like I'm standing on Mars or I'm standing on the moon. Can't they have some type of thing, a camera that goes to Mars, a camera that goes to the moon, and then send that goddamn thing back? Or have it like somehow send the signals back. I guess it would take like, I don't know, maybe it would take like years to get the freaking signals to come back, where we could have lossless, crystal clear video of Mars and the moon, and we could really see what it looks like. We could imagine what it looks like if you were standing on the moon or you're standing on Mars. Why has that never happened? Because we always get these pictures. We'll get pictures of Mars, and it's like if you stitch a bunch of pictures together, you know, it kind of gives you a 360-degree look of Mars, and you see these rocks and you see the dust and everything, but it's not crystal clear. It's like always kind of blurry and stuff. I want to see like crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear footage of Mars and the moon. And I don't understand why we don't have that. Like, I want crystal clear video footage of that. And maybe we don't have it because maybe, oh my God, space doesn't exist. Maybe space is fake. Yeah, have you heard about this, guys? Okay, you know how there's these flat earthers? There's these flat earther people that believe that the earth is flat and that all of this is fake, all of this is an elaborate illusion. And I've also heard there's like this growing belief system that space is fake, that there is no space, there is no moon, like it's all freaking a lie. What kind of crazy shit is that? But if we got some 4K cameras up there on the moon, we can prove that these people are wrong. You know, space doth exist. Space doth exist. Okay, here we go. Yeah, no, I'm not going into a rant on that. Okay, well, you know what? I've pretty much gone through every little thing that I have. Oh, check this out, guys. It's almost 12 noon. It's almost 12 noon. So somehow we actually got through a show. Amazeballs. Amazeballs. So here's what we can do now. You know, we still got a little bit of time to go here because I was a little bit late off the draw. So we still got a little bit of time here. I'm going to go back over to let's go back over to our Webby browser. And why don't we check out the shit show? Not my shit show, the Vive shit show. Oh, wait, this is the new Vive subreddit. Yeah, this is the new Vive subreddit. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Yeah, so this is the new Vive subreddit. Let's go to the old Vive subreddit. Like, what is going on, guys? When is this problem ever going to be solved? Are we ever going to have, like, the regular Vive subreddit? Is it going to come back to life here? So here I am. I am on the regular Vive subreddit. And, Yeah, I don't know. It's still, let's see. VR gifts encourages better and friendly VR discussion. Please do consider us checking out. Oh, VR_gifts. Yeah, I guess it's still down. You know, here we have a new thing, ISS Experience. Yeah, we talked about that. VR cameras now on the International Space Station, proving to you that space doth exist. Oh, the Dreams beta. Well, you know what? It actually kind of seems like this, like our Vive is almost back to being like a normal thing again. Did that guy step down? Did 500, did that guy step down? Vive Reddit banned Anthony's stream. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So I don't know. Maybe this thing's coming back. Maybe we can go 500 needs to step down. Yeah, 13.4K upvotes. That really is crazy that it actually got 13.4K upvotes. Like, what if you were this 500 guy? You would probably just want to go hide in a corner at that point. If 13,000 people were like, off with your head, brah. Off with your head. Okay, let's go to the Oculus Rift subreddit and see if there's any news that's popping off real quick right before we check out of here. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. Let's see. Just see what some people are talking about here. Got hooked on VR due to the Go. Does anyone here have experience with the Rift and Windows Mixed Reality? Which one would you recommend? Gee, I wonder what they're going to recommend when they're on the Oculus subreddit. It's going to be pretty shocking. What's the longest you've spent in VR in a single sitting, and how immersive has it gotten for you? Include your setup and VR headset of choice. That's actually kind of a decent question. What is the longest you've ever been in VR? I would say for me, he didn't notice he was down. Am I really down? Am I really down for what? What am I down for? Hold on. Hold on a second, guys. Maybe I showed something that was, am I really down? Okay, let's go. I guess I'm down, guys. I don't know what the hell is going on here. So let me go ahead and check out my own channel. Yeah, lots of bad things. Why are so many bad things happening? Oh, man. What is the deal, yo? Okay, let's go here. VR365. This is going to be Inception within Inception. Okay, so it says live now. It says VR365 live now. If I click on this, will I break the space-time continuum? Here's my question, guys. If I click on this, will I break the space-time continuum? Like, will it just go... You know, let's click on it and see what happens. Yeah, I guess I'm still alive. I don't know. There I am right there. So, yeah, I just saw reality within a reality within a reality, kind of like a fisherman's tale. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, let's go back over here to the Oculus subreddit. Yeah, something weird is going on. I guess I was gone just for a minute. The chat delay is so huge that this is all confusing him. Well, you know what? I changed my delay back to, I changed it to 10 seconds. Policy violation, but back. What did I violate? Maybe the time video? Maybe I wasn't supposed to put that video on? Term violations. I don't know, man. I can't catch a goddamn break. I cannot catch a goddamn break. I don't know what's going on here. But I was going to try to just check out the Oculus Rift subreddit real fast, see what some people were talking about. Just see if there's any like news stories that possibly popped. And we can go ahead and let's check the PSVR subreddit real quick. Yeah, I'm a bit discombobulated, no question about it, because I don't know why I'm getting kicked off of things. I don't know why I'm violating things. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's go back over here to PlayStation VR. The subreddit. The Dreams beta is no longer under NDA. So here is a full video showcasing the most liked creation so far. And I was just trying to see if there might be any other news stories. Chappie antenna for PSVR. Oh, how cute is that? Remember that robot Chappie? That's kind of cute. Oh, did you see this post? I saw this post. This guy is like, I wonder if my wife or girlfriend is going to notice this. I'm like, hell yes, she's going to notice this. Look at, he's got his little connectors there to his PSVR headset right down there. But what this guy was saying is, see how there's these little plastic things, these clear plastic things? When he's done playing, he unhooks all of these things and then he just leaves up these clear plastic things. And so far, like, his wife or girlfriend hasn't noticed those little plastic things. And so everybody in this thread is wondering how long it's going to take before she notices those little clear plastic things. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with my show. I do not know why I'm getting killed. YouTube doesn't like me, brah. Yeah, Starblood Arena is going offline this July. That is going to happen. Oh, dude, a chair in the room Greenwater is coming to PlayStation VR? Wow, I didn't know about that. A chair in a room Greenwater is coming to PlayStation VR. That's pretty cool. That's news. Like, that's legitimate news, I guess, right? All right, well, you know what? I don't know what's going on, folks. We've got a delay. Yeah, the delay in OBS was 20 seconds. I chopped it down to 10 seconds, but I don't know what kind of a delay is going on with, like, YouTube. I think there's a 7-second delay on YouTube. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on in terms of getting kicked off of YouTube or whatever. I don't know what's happening, folks. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. I'm going to go ahead and call this a show. It has been basically a full hour. I have been, yeah, it says 1 hour and 24 seconds. So I've been going for 1 full hour here. Not the greatest episode for Monday. I will admit that. But not every day do you wake up and your website is offline for some unknown reason. So I was dealing with a lot of drama earlier this morning and now YouTube drama as well. Not sure what the deal is, but basically I will bounce out of here and I will be back on Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Space is not real. They took me off right when I said space was not real, right? I'm saying space is not real. I was talking about flat earthers, and then I've got taken off of YouTube. Kawinky dink, maybe not. Maybe there's something going on here. Yeah, it's the conspiracy theories. It's all of that. All right, well, yeah, I'm going to bounce out of here. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I will see everybody then. So have a wonderful day. See you guys then. Take it easy, and later.